Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Skyblock with myself, Reliikgaming. So, in the last episode then, we managed to get ourselves some flight with the Leadstone Jetpack, and that's been really useful already actually, because you can probably see behind me we've got some of the logistics pipes going up to our Britannia area, and that now means that our Britannia flowers are accessible over there in our requester system. So that's just another tick in the box for getting our inventory management sorted. I've also added another one of the requester pipes up the top near the Britannia area, so I can do crafting up there as well, and anything that's in the system obviously will be requestable up there as well. Because the pipe's quite long, it does take a few seconds for that to come through, but it's better than what we had before. So, in this episode, I think I kind of mentioned it last time, what I really want to do is sort of get on and get the Hardened Jetpack made. And that's really because the Leadstone Jetpack, it runs out of fuel really quickly. And yeah, I nearly ended up falling into the void a few times because of it while we were doing this. Because this actually, if I can just sort of jump down here and show you, this actually goes all the way under here, and to do it, I was heavily reliant on this not running out of fuel. As I say, it does quite quickly. Even though we've got a method of charging this up really simply, we just have to come and stand over here. We do still need something that lasts a little bit longer in between recharges. So in order to get the Hardened Jetpack then, we need to delve back into Industrial Craft 2, because we're going to need the turning table in order to make the mining laser, which is required as part of the thermal centrifuge, which we need in order to get a couple of the bits for the Hardened Jetpack. So in order to get the turning table then, what we are going to need, now this is, from memory, is quite a simple machine to make, which it is. We just need some iron plates, a basic machine frame, which is just some more iron plates around an iron chipset, some shafts, and some iron casings. So let's just go and grab a load of iron, because that is the main component that we are going to need today. In fact, we'll grab a couple of stacks of that. Now, I've got a fair idea that we're going to need quite a few of these shafts, so we're going to turn a whole stack of that into the blocks, and then we can get over to the metal former. And to be fair, I could have just flown over there, and that probably would have made life a little bit easier, but we'll just pop those in fact, let's not put it on that mode, let's put it actually onto extruding mode, which is the correct mode for this. So we'll just pop those in there and give that a second. And then we'll just have a look and see what else that we need in order to make this. Because the turning table, so losing my words there for a second, the turning table is going to require power, but you can't use any of the immersive engineering power. What you need is one of these electric kinetic generators. So it's just the way it works. But yeah, to make one of those then, we're going to need a load more of the iron item cases. So we'll make quite a few of those. As I suspected, another one of the shafts of iron. Then we're going to need a battery and a motor. Now the motor is easy, just some tin item casings, a bit of iron, and some of these coils, which are just copper cables around an iron ingot. And then for the battery, we just need some insulated tin cable, a bit of electrotine, and some more of the tin casings. So we'll nip over, we'll grab some of the electrotine, and we'll also grab some tin, if let's grab some copper as well while we're there. And yeah, we'll grab some tin. I'm glad I made some more of that now. And hopefully in here, yeah, actually that might help us a little bit. We can, in fact, did I have any of the, I should check really just to see if we've got any of the stuff already. So we've got a little bit of copper cable already. We've got a tin cable, that's good. We've got a tin plate, we'll take that. We've got some rubber, which we are definitely going to need. And I think that's probably about it. We've got an iron chipset there. So that's a fair number of the bits that we need. So let's head back over to the metal former, and hopefully that's done the first bit of its task, which it has. And now we can get some of this tin. Now we don't want that again on. In fact, let's do the copper first because that is on extruding mode. So we'll make a fair amount of this, I think. Probably about 20 of those. Okay, so I grabbed the copper cable. I've also grabbed the item tin cases that we need just to speed things up a bit. But just in case you don't know how that's done, you basically take a plate that you've already made and then you just drop that back into the metal form. That will then turn into a casing. So I think we've pretty much got all the bits that we need now. There might be one or two bits that I'm forgetting here, and we'll just double check and just see. So yeah, we need to first of all turn one of the tin cables into an insulated tin cable, and then we'll be able to make ourselves the battery that we need for this. So hopefully we can just pop those in there like that. And then the motor, again, simple case of we'll grab some of those. In fact, we need 2 lots of that and some iron in the middle, and that's going to make us the 2 coils that we need. And then finally we can just put some tin case and some iron there to make ourselves a motor, which for some reason doesn't want to shift click in. I'm going to try that again because that should do. Yes, it does. I was just pressing the wrong button. And then, as I say, we've got bits that we need for our battery, which, in fact, no, I've made the battery already. We've got all the bits then that we need to make the electric kinetic generator. And it's now telling me that I haven't. So, got the iron shaft. We've got enough of the iron casings, that's for sure. I think it's because the battery can either be full or not. I think I fell foul of that. And then we just pop the motor in and grab out the electric kinetic generator. And then in order to, I'm just going to take that back out again because did we make 2 batteries? That was a little bit odd. I didn't realise that I'd made 2 batteries there, but fine, we'll carry on. So we need an iron chipset and surround that with iron plates. That's going to give us a machine casing. And then I think it was one of those either side, some iron, and just want to remind myself now for the turning table what else that we needed. See, I did try and remember a recipe off the top of my head, but as always it failed. Okay, of course we need some of the iron item casings like so. So that is our 2 machines. In fact, the reason why that came back out again is because I didn't actually make the kinetic table and the kinetic generator. Electric kinetic generator, wherever it's gone, because we were missing something. So there's the battery. Perhaps it wasn't iron, perhaps it was tin. Let's just pop that back in there again and see. That's really weird because that just seems to have disappeared. Now I definitely made the motor. That is absolutely for sure. But I'm just going to double check that again. Probably when I watch this back on the video, I'll realise that I've been a bit silly there. No, I definitely made it. No problems. We'll just put the bits back in then. So we just need that and a couple of bits of iron. And yeah, I'm just a little bit worried now that we are going to run out of the bits and pieces that we need. So hopefully, yeah, we can shift click that in and then we can make ourselves we still can't make the generator. What is going on today? So there's that. There is the motor, the battery, and can the battery just actually go in? Really doesn't seem to want to go in there. Right, and there is our electric kinetic generator. I really don't know what happened there. It just seemed to disappear. I must have messed up somewhere, but fine. We'll go and put these bits down over here then, and hopefully we can get this to work. So first of all then, we need to pop down the kinetic generator, and yeah, we'll pop that next to the normal generator, and then that will fill up with power. Just double check that is happening, which it is. And then we'll put the turning table down next to it. And then we need to grab ourselves a lathing tool and an iron turning blank. Now, I think from memory that, in fact, we're going to need to grab some more of the refined iron plate. So, kind of hoping that we've still got some steel in here, which we have. Good. And we'll pop that into the machine here. Just grab those out because we don't need those right now. Pop our steel in, which, there it is. And that just needs to be turned into a refined iron plate, and coupled together with a couple of the item casings will make us the lathing tool. And then we just need a couple more. In fact, let's make sure we've got enough. Yes, we have. A couple more of the iron item casings to make ourselves an iron turning blank, which will then be able to turn into the pattern that we need. In fact, we'll make that first. We'll then be able to turn into, is that the wrong way around? Was it iron the other side? I think maybe that way. There we go. There's the iron turning blank, and then, as I say, we just need that, and the plate, and that's our lathing tool. We'll then be able to need the pattern that we need to make for the mining laser, and we'll be one step closer. So let's just go into here, and lathing tool just here, and the turning blank just here. Will it go in? Yeah, there we go. And now hopefully we can just click this into the pattern that we need. And I'm just going to remind myself really quickly of what that pattern is for the mining laser, which is this one here. And it requires 4, 3, 2, 2, and 2. So just go into this then, and hopefully just be able to click this, which, well, normally we can. And why is that not working? Give me a minute. Let me just investigate this. Okay, so it appears that this only has one output side, and I think I've possibly put that against the wrong side. So I have got in one of the chests somewhere a wrench, which I'm hoping that we can grab this and move the table with. And of course I can't remember where I put that currently. Yeah, there we go, there it is. We've already got some blanks in there which we could have used. So what we need then is to just grab this. Now please don't break. It hasn't. That's good. There's always a chance with these things, obviously, that it may break. Now I'm wondering to myself which side is the output side. I'm gonna go with this side. I think potentially that could be the output side. So let's just put our bits back in again. If it's not, then we'll just move it again and cross our fingers. So it would appear that that is not the output side either. And yeah, we've been lucky again. I don't want to do this too many more times because otherwise we will end up breaking it. And although it's not expensive, that would just be a bit of a pain. So let's just pop that in as well. And hopefully now that's still not wanting to work. So can I just turn the orientation of this? Maybe that's what needs to happen. Nope. Just give me a minute. Let's have a look and see why this isn't working. Okay, so it turns out the one thing that I forgot was that this actually needs to have some motors in here in order for this to work. So obviously for the motors then we are going to need a whole load more of the wire, which I'm just going to make up some of that in there. In fact, we're going to need a load of that because the more we have, I presume the better this will work. We'll probably aim for sort of 3 or 4 of those. Okay, so a couple of minutes later, and we've got a whole stack of these copper cables. So hopefully now we can go and make a few of these motors, and yeah, life will be good. So obviously then, in order to make the motors, what we're going to need first of all is a whole raft of these things. And as I say, we've now got quite a lot of this stuff. I think 8 will be good for that. Let's just pop those in. So then hopefully we've got some of the 4 motors. Fingers crossed. This is the this is the item that we actually need to get this turning table made. So what started out as a relatively simple machine to make has turned out to be anything but to operate, and that's good. So we are now actually transmitting some power out of here. So if we go back into here, we should now be able to do this as we need. So we need 4, and this still does not want to work. So this could now be down to output placement. Now I can't remember which one of these is the actual output. I think if we just, please don't break, if we just pop this down, I think maybe this side, and there we go. It's now got a little bit of a line at the top, which is telling us that it's connected, and we are good to go. So there we go. We're going to change that to 4, and then this one was 2. I'll do this really carefully because I don't want to waste one of these. So 1, 2, and 3, like so. It seems to be a little bit of a lag on there, and for some reason, I'm just going to come back out of that and come back in again, because for some reason it didn't seem to want to register that I'd done any clicks there. Now that could be, in fact it is, because it's actually out of power. Now why is it out of power? And that's because we've run out of coal coke. Good. Do you know, I was really beginning to panic then and think to myself, can you only click this a few times before it breaks? Oh dearie me. Right, so hopefully then, that's now back online, and we can do the required clicks to get that down to where we need it. Now it does look like this goes through quite a bit of power, so we're just going to have to take our time with this. And that's down to 4, down to 3, and down to 2 with just one more click. Good. Now, before I take this out, I am just going to make absolutely sure that that was the correct pattern. So 4, 5, 2, and 2. In fact, no, it's 4, 3, 2, 2, and 2. So I'm glad that I actually checked, because we would have wasted a turning blank. Not that that's a great mission, but I really don't want to keep going through this every 5 seconds. So there we go. And as you can see, these lathing tools, they do actually use up a little bit of their durability when you use them. And we also create these tiny piles of iron dust. I'm not really sure what we can use those for as yet, but I'm sure we'll find out at some point. So thermal centrifuge then, let's get back on track. So we're going to need some more of the coils, which I'm just going to double check that we've got some of that on the actual go. Now, why is that now flashing at me? Is that that's telling me that it hasn't got enough power? But that's fine. We'll take those out of there for now, and we'll let that fill back up with power. Obviously, power is going to be something that's quite high on the agenda pretty soon, because we get into a point where stuff is going to get more difficult. So all of this then it's relatively simple. There's nothing difficult in there. It's just quite a lot of grinding. So just clicked off of that. We need some more of the advanced alloy and some of the carbon plates that we've made those before. So the advanced alloy is just simply some mixed metal ingots in a compressor, which is made by iron plates, bronze, and tin plates. And then the carbon is just simply the raw carbon mesh in the compressor, which is made from 2 of the raw carbon fibers, which takes 4 pieces of the pulverized coal each. And then we obviously know how to make the electric motors and the ingots and the coils. And then the mining lasers are going to require some more of the advanced alloy, the iron turning blank, which we've already made, an advanced circuit, which, there's a few bits and pieces in there that are going to sort of be quite fiddly to make, but we've made them all before as well. So some redstone chipsets, some intricate circuit boards, which we've got enough of that already, some more of the basic capacitors, which is just some of the lapis electron tubes, some signal nuggets, and some of the redstone chipset. And then finally we are going to need the energy crystal, which we haven't made before, but this is relatively simple. Some of the energium dust, which is just some of the diamond dust and redstone dust combined like this, put into a compressor, and that's going to give us one of those. So what I'm going to do, rather than have you watch me do all that, because that, say, is quite boring and grindy probably to watch, I'm going to go away. I'm going to get all those bits made up, and then once I've done that, we'll come back and we can hopefully put this thermal centrifuge together. I will see you in a minute. Okay, so a little while later, and we've got the bits that we need in order to progress this then. So we'll start off, we'll make the basic machine frame, and then all we need to do is place the carbon plates at the top of here. We need a couple of bits of the advanced alloy and then some of the refined iron plates, and that's going to give us our advanced machine casing. And the electric motor, obviously we need some of the coils for that, so hopefully we've got enough for a couple of coils, which we have. I'd be very worried if we hadn't, given the time that was spent doing that. And obviously then did I just make those? We did. Obviously then what we need to do is just pop those together in the crafting table, and there is our motor. Now obviously we've got those bits. We need a couple more of the coils, so let's just quickly get those done. And I probably could have made those at the same time just to make life a little bit quicker for myself. And then the complicated bit, obviously the mining laser. So we've got all of these bits apart from the advanced circuit and the energy crystal. So let's get this energy dust first of all. We'll just make a couple of piles of that actually, and we can just take that all back out of the crafting table again and just run over and put that. In fact, we'll fly over because why not? And we'll pop that into the compressor, and that is going to make us the crystal that we need. And then we'll just get back over here and we'll make the circuit that we need, which of course is the advanced circuit for the drill. Sorry, for the mining laser, which is this. So we're going to need first of all a normal circuit, which is just some insulated copper cable, an iron plate and some redstone. So we need 6 pieces of the copper cable like so, and some rubber, and that will give us what we need there. And then where's that gone? That then can go there, and I just can't quite remember what the recipe was off the top of my head now. And in fact, we can probably just put that in there and have done with it. Just shift click it in. And then to turn that into an advanced, what we need, we've already got the intricate circuits in the redstone chipsets. We need some of these basic capacitors, and we've got all the bits for those. So we should be able to just shift click a couple of those in as well. And then finally, we can put that all together into an advanced circuit. Excellent. And then finally, we just need to run over, and again, I'm not going to run, I am going to fly. And we can grab one of the crystals. Now that's already made one energy crystal there, and it's busy making another, and no doubt we will need another one of those at some point, so I am just going to leave that doing that. And hopefully now we've got the bits together we need to make the mining laser, and I'm going to trust that we have, and it's saying that we haven't. And I'm just going to have a quick check and just to make sure. So we've got the turning blank. In fact, it's because it needs a charged one of those, but that's fine. We can charge that afterwards. Always when there's, let's say for example with the batteries, where something can be charged or uncharged, it doesn't like it in the recipe. So there we go, the advanced circuit, and that went in the wrong place. So the advanced circuit, there's our mining laser, which I can't put down for the life of me now. And hopefully then we've got the bits to put all of this together. Finally, we can move forward and we'll have ourselves the thermal centrifuge. So just the mining laser at the top there. And for some reason that doesn't want to go down. I'm getting some really weird things happening on here today. But there we go. There is the thermal centrifuge. So I'm just going to come out of that before I lose that. And it's an IC2 machine, obviously, so we can go and put that next to our power source over here. Now, I'm going to pop that on top because I think that will be fine just there. And now, hopefully, that will get, as I say, that will get some power. There isn't a lot of power in here, so we might have to give that a minute just to buffer and fill up with power. Okay, so this is slowly beginning to buffer up with a bit of power then. So just show you how this works. If I pop in a piece of cobble, what you'll see is this little heat bar here starts to fill up. And once that's full, it's going to start filling up this bar here, which I think is just going to give us some stone dust at the end of this. But basically, this will go all the way up to the top and it'll produce some output. Now, when I think about it, I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hope I'm not going to break this, but I'm just going to move this. I'm going to move this out of the way because I've got a feeling that that sort of drains power even when it's not doing anything. So yeah, I just want to be absolutely sure that that isn't actually happening. And yeah, I'm not sort of so sure that this is going to have enough power to do what we ultimately need it to do, and it is burning through in this generator quite quickly. So I think in the next episode we are definitely going to have to look at sorting out our power sources, definitely for IC2 and probably for the rest of the stuff as well, to be honest. So let's just have a look and see where we're getting to. So this line has got to get all the way to the top. Okay, so we are nearly at the top, and there we go. So that pops us out some stone dust. Now, what we're going to need, if we just go back into NEI, is, in fact, just type in jetpacks would probably make that a little bit easier. So we want to make the hardened jetpack, and not that one, just the normal one up here. And it was for the reactant dynamo, we actually needed some of this uranium. And if you remember, that's what we needed the thermal centrifuge for in the first place. Now, this is going to require a whole lot more heat than we had for that piece of stone that we just did. And we're also going to need some of this purified crushed uranium ore. Now, I'm not sure that I know that we've got some uranium ore over here, but I'm not really sure that that is purified, so there may well be another process that we've got to go through. So this is just crushed, so we just grab some of that for now, and we just need to have a look then and see how we get it purified. And let's just go into here. So purified, so we're going to need the, in fact, crushed uranium, fine. So we are going to need the ore washing plant as well before we can actually finish this task. And let's just have a look and see what the ore washing plant requires. This is the thing, unfortunately, when you, or say fortunately, you may enjoy this stuff, but once you get into IC2, you find quite often that there's a machine for absolutely doing every single task. And this is fairly easy, so it's quite a basic machine. We just need a basic machine casing, some more of the electric motors, and just a normal circuit. So I am going to go off camera and get those bits and pieces done, and then we'll put it into the crafting table together just to save a little bit of time. I'll see you in a second. Okay, so once again we've got the bits together that we need, so we can just pop that into the crafting grid like so, and there's our ore washing plant. Now again, this is something else that's going to require power, and yeah, I think we're already probably a little bit strained on our power system, to be honest, but it's fine. We will just pop that down here and hopefully that'll start receiving some power, which it is, and we can put our, now let's just actually work out how this works. I think probably, where do we put this? In here? Yeah, there we go. So that'll go into there, and I think we're going to need to grab some water in this, potentially. Let's just go back into the thermal centrifuge just to find out. Again, another machine that I've not used before, but there are so many of these machines. In fact, it wasn't thermal centrifuge that we needed, it was the jetpack. And where are we? Hardened jetpack, there we go. So we need this, and it requires that. So yeah, we need to grab a little bit of water, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that is the last thing that we're going to need before we can actually move on and start making our jetpack. I honestly didn't think that it was going to take as long to get all these bits together, but it just shows you, once you start getting into making these machines, how time consuming it can actually be. So let's just grab some water out of here and we'll pop it into our machine. Now I think probably just have to put the bucket here like so, and that's going to start washing some of this. Now I'm thinking to myself, is this going to need an entire bucket for each piece? In which case I'm actually going to go and get some of the transfer pipe and we'll just hook it up to our infinite water source, because that will make things a lot quicker. In fact it is. So what this basically does is it's just going to produce one piece per time, but I think we only need 2 pieces of this anyway, so let's just grab another bucket of that, and in between episodes I'm going to hook this up to the machine. We'll probably never use it again, but hey, that's that'll just be another thing that's automated, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, so we only need, we need 9. Oh no, that's just for that. We only need 1 piece for that, and each piece of this is going to give us 5 pieces of uranium. So actually, this is not so bad, and we need 1 bit for either side of the reactant dynamo. Yeah, that's no problem at all actually. So let's just grab out our other piece of that. So we've got 2 pieces of that in total, and now if we go back to the thermal centrifuge and drop this in, now hopefully it's got quite a lot of power. Hopefully this will start doing something pretty soon, which it is, and that needs to get up to 3000 degrees in order to do this, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we finally got up to temperature, and this processing bar is going up pretty rapidly, so I think we are finally about to get a couple of the bits that we need towards moving forward with our jetpack, and we have. So there are 5 of those, and of course it's then going to do another one straight away. And oh dearie me, something really bad seems to have happened there, and I am actually irradiated, which probably means I'm going to die. So before we do die, I am just going to try to get rid of as many of the items in our inventory as possible, because then it won't matter. And there we go. So I'm glad that we managed to save some of our stuff anyway. That's pretty happy we had some quick thinking there. And I'm not really sure why that happened. I think potentially there's some sort of protective gear that we probably should have been wearing whilst we did this, and in fact it was because I was holding the uranium. That was a bit of a silly thing to have done really. And there is our gravestone, so there's nothing in that, but let's just get that. Oh, there was our jetpack. So let's just get that out of the way, and we won't make that mistake again. So I think there's some kind of a suit that you need. I think it's perhaps this hazmat suit that we need to make in order for handling that going forward. But guys, I am going to actually do that in the next episode, because I think we're kind of running out of a little bit of time now. And yeah, it's been a bit grindy today trying to get these machines together, but that is what this pack is all about. And despite that, I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. And if you enjoyed the video, drop us a like. Until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.